Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a chess show on Pod TV. My name is Sasha Star, and our guests today are two professors. Of course, Ken Regan. Welcome to the show, Ken.
Thank you very much. I'm at home.
Oh, good. And Dan Fleetwood, welcome to the show, Dan.
Hi, Sasha. Hi, Ken. I'm also working from home today.
Okay, and I'm always working from home. Now, home is my workplace. So these days bringing us closer and closer to the candidates tournament. We almost forgot about this, but this is going to be probably the most important event of this 2026. Although, wait, there is also World Championship probably later this year with the winner of the candidates and
Right. Gukesh.
Oh, Gukesh, I forgot who is the world champion.
Yeah, right.
Remember it
Well,
anymore.
let's not. But yes.
So I've heard a lot of predictions, and they say whoever wins the candidates is becoming next world champion. There is no doubt about that. Well, we'll see to it. It's I think they're starting in April, so we're just a month and a half away from candidates. Isn't it interesting? The time flies really fast.
Right.
Yeah, I certainly am not ready for it, so I hope the candidates are.
Who are the candidates? Can you refresh our memories?
Oh, let's see. I'm
Number
embarrassed.
one is Caruana.
Dragananda Abdusadarov, Bluebaum, our favorites, I would imagine. Let's see.
Nakamura.
And Nakamura and Caruana both representing the home side. Yeah, I would say one of those should also be and I misspoke. It's actually Cyprus, not Tashkent. I was so it's Anish Giri. It's great to see him in there. Yavokir Sindarov, Wei Yi, Esipenko, and Prague. And wait, where is Abdusadarov? I thought for sure he was there, but I guess I'm wrong. Okay, so sorry. My memory definitely playing tricks with me. So okay, there we have. But obviously Hikaru and Fabiano, they're both in there. Well, Caruana is 33, Nakamura is 38. So you wonder when their last rodeo is coming. And Nakamura certainly has made some noises about retiring from this kind of thing. So they are currently the world ranked 2 and 3. So that will be, I am definitely looking forward to it. And it actually begins next month. It begins on the 28th of March.
Oh, no way. Really? 28th. So it's exactly a month from now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It'll be alongside, I think that worked really well in Toronto, alongside the women's candidate tournament, which features Zhu Jiner, Alexander Goryachkina, Divya Deshmukh, Humpy Konaru, Zhongyi Tan, Vaishali Ramesh Babu, Katerina Lagno, and Bibisara Asobayeva.
Also very competitive field. It's very difficult to predict. If in men's you can say that probably Caruana and Nakamura will be on top 2 places most likely, but not necessarily so. In women's, I can't even say name 2 of them who would be second, first and second.
One thing worthy of note: none of them are in the 2600s. No women in the world is above 2600 at the moment. I remarked on that during a lecture I gave in German to the German chess youth, Deutsche Schachjugend.
Wonderful.
So Holy Fan has dropped below 2600 now.
Well, she's not active, but I think actually
she's been playing events, but perhaps not classic, perhaps not classical rating.
You're right.
Yeah, let's see. Her FIDE profile says that her rating is 2596. Yeah, that's what I remarked.
So she slipped below.
She slipped below. Yes, she slipped below just in the past year. Actually, the August 2025 rating list is where she lost points. So. But she slipped below just on this rating list. And let's see what that was from. Actually, that was from the Chinese Chess League Division A, playing games against Tan Zhongyi and Lu Miaoyi, um, and he scored only 2.5 from 6. So definitely some
Against strong players who are rated below you, that's what happens, right?
right, yeah, especially if they're underrated below you.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, so I guess none of those players is active in the tournaments I'm going to discuss, except Caruana is currently leading the St. Louis Masters. So it's a tune-up. And there was a lot of regret that Prague did not play in Prague, but Gukesh and Erigaisi are there. So there's certainly enough of their. No, I'm wrong. Erigaisi is in. No, he was playing the Thursday 30 yesterday. So no, it's Aravan Chitambaran and Gukesh from India in that tournament. So let me share my screen. I have the person of the hour though for the games I'm going to be talking about is not in the candidates. Maybe he'll be in the next one. That's Hans Niemann, but he started off with a draw and a loss in Prague, and they were both very entertaining games. In fact, I even called the one that was played yesterday psychedelic. I am screening both events, so I'm emailing with the chief arbiters in both cases. So here is his first round game against Gukesh. A game against the world champion is always interesting. And this game actually repeated the last game, which I showed a few weeks ago between them. So in the game a few weeks ago from Vaikonce, both players sacrificed a knight for 2 pawns when it was a dubious decision. In Gukesh's case, it basically threw away the win that he had in the possession. So Niemann is black, and we see the Berlin, and white, however, goes into a variation reminiscent of the exchange.
We don't see it yet, though.
Oh, let's see. Whoops. Oh, okay. You don't see it yet.
Well, we trust you enough to.
Yes, I know, but let's see. So why are we not seeing it?
Okay, it's better now. Still don't see it, but okay, now we see.
Now you see it just takes a little while to wake up. So white played captures on c6, which is going to turn the game into, structures reminiscent of the exchange Rui. But white is not playing for an early d4 in this line. Maybe Dan, you know something about this line?
Yeah, I play this from both sides.
Okay. Well, so tell me if you see coming what Niemann uncorked in this game. So both players are trying to put the knights on good positions, and so both knights retreat. But the key squares, light squares in this position are c4 and f5. And that's what white's knights have been angling for. However, Niemann beats Gukesh to the punch. Can you see what Niemann played here? Aside from the fact that it is the computer's top move. So,
well,
f4. Do you know this?
No, I don't know this at all. The retreat with knight e2. It looks like that's new to me.
Okay. So white did it to try to get f4, drum up play on the king side, but
yep.
Stomped on.
I was going to say knight takes d3. It's like, why wouldn't you play that?
Right. It's definitely causing confusion in white's house. It's worth the 2 pawns. However, Niemann is not so sharp in following this up as he could have done. I mean, this is good. And now it's a really interesting dance of white's knights. They were on squares eyeing the center on f3 and c3, but now they're back home on the queen side.
Yeah, we used to have fun with positions like this back in days of postcards. We would say that that white has realized the ideal Nimzovich-Petrosian goal of getting all of the pieces back to the first rank.
Right. And it's worth noting, well, if white plays rook e1, among other things, black can capture on f4, but actually the pins with bishop b4 are even better. If white plays rook f2 is going to get hit by bishop c5, but if you play rook f3, then black is just going to play rook d8, and white can't defend c2 conveniently. So that's why white retreats the knight to b1, exposing black to play bishop takes f1, but black has better things to do. Black's bishop on a6 is really nice. So rook a d8. So black's initiative continues unabated even without the queens on. So now it's actually inconvenient for white to recapture the pawn. So if white recaptures the pawn, then eventually, so this is just keeping white's pieces bottled up. The d1 square can't be covered conveniently. If white plays knight c3, then black comes into d2. So, a dream counterplay for white. So Gukesh decided to try to develop and at least connect rooks on the back rank, but now black has 3 pawns for the piece. Okay, and now in reminiscent of a king's gambit, we hold on to that pawn. But here, however, though, is where Niemann doesn't array his forces in the most solid way. So just playing f6 or king g7 first was the way to go. So this is a little bit too ambitious too soon. It gives white something to do. And black has also decided, let's see how much time Niemann spends. The other problem is that Niemann is getting short on time. White was short on time. I don't know why it's showing 25 minutes more. Something's wrong with the clocks, I guess. Okay. I'll have to look at that because, but anyway, now Niemann is down within 5 minutes and has basically now allowed white to get back into the game. Now white has taken over some initiative. And so Niemann decides to sacrifice in exchange. And this gets very rich. Black is now a full rook down, but is going to win at least 1 more pawn. So black will have at least 4 pawns for the rook.
Wow.
And maybe can wangle it to be 5. So,
Ken,
so
you're right. There's something definitely weird with the clocks. So
yes. I'll have to compare chess.com versus Lichess. It's one of my back of the mind worries about the clock. Anyway, so black does win some material back. If white had tried to save the rook, then by putting it on d1, well, actually, white's going to get skewered on the in fact, bishop b7 is immediately winning, so never mind. So white tries to simplify the position and now is up a piece, but black has 3 pawns for it, and black is able to drive a wedge into white's position. So I'll play through this. There is another juncture at which black had a chance to go for activity. But capturing the pawn, this was a bit of a misjudgment. But there is another chance that black had later in the game. Okay, king d3, c4. Yes, so it's coming up right here. So it turns out that the obvious move is the one that gives black the best chances. Just capture on g3 with the rook. Maybe, however, Niemann, they got more increments of time. Saw though that white can clamp down and force a draw in this position. Black is not really able to push through the pawn. So maybe Niemann thought, okay, the way to try to win this position is to make sure black doesn't win the b pawn with the knight. But I think Niemann misguessed how much time white had to do other maneuvers. And now it's actually black who has to start thinking about the best way to make the draw. And so white's knight is just active enough that black can't dream of getting the king to h3 for a checkmate. And so So if black takes on c6, then white is able to drive black's king away from the pawns. And now, well, white
Yeah,
will
sure.
just take one. So anyways, the game was very quickly agreed drawn. From this
Yeah,
point.
very, very sharp.
So
Wow.
it's a sharp, interesting game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not usually what people would play the Berlin for in the older days, but that's what it's evolved into. So the Berlin is quite a rich opening at the moment.
Okay, it's good that white is finding good ways to play against it. Okay, so the second game I want to show is Hans Niemann's loss to Aravind Chidambaram. And this is an even more psychedelic game. So first of all, the fact that white converts what started out as a Pirc defense into a Philidor defense. So classic Philidor main line. Is this played in correspondence chess?
No,
Okay, maybe because
it's not unsound, but it's let's say it's too limiting in terms of possibilities. So
yeah. Well, I would say that black should have been punished in this game, but Niemann slipped up at the crucial point. Okay, well, black does get a little bit of activity. Well, white could have had activity with bishop g4, but now the queenside play is normal in the Philidor. It's just right. Black's position is more cramped, and white decides to take the invitation to come in and try to probe the light squares. Now black has 4 pawns abreast, and the knight hops away, but white has provoked some kind of weaknesses in the meantime. So the players are milling around, but actually at this point now black is doing okay. So
yeah,
it's
kind of a good version of a hedgehog.
with the latent possibility of putting the bishop on g7. But okay, so now white actually invites a little trouble, and black is actually getting some initiative perhaps on the queen side, with queen on a very good diagonal, and Niemann decides to force the play, and now the game gets very interesting, even though this pawn capture is probably unsound for black. So white captures on g6, and black does not recapture even now. So this very calm move, just doubling up on c3. Well, okay, white attacks the bishop on a8, gets out of the pin. And now, well, black is temporarily a piece down. No rooks on the board. It's all queens and minors. So white just retreats this. And now what black needs to do in this position is just make it a real sacrifice. Okay, and play queen takes c2, and play with 2 pawns for a piece, as happened in the previous game. But Chidambaram decided to mix it up, so black now counterattacks the white bishop on g3, and this is refutable, but only by a very weird tactic. Okay, so white plays c3. So the idea of this move is that it's going to wrong foot black's pieces. Okay, so white capturing is perfectly fine. Black captures here. But now there's a unique follow-up which Niemann didn't see. Instead, Niemann got fixated on the idea of playing against the g6 square, but maybe overlooked the simple fact that black's knight on g3 can cover the diagonal he opened up by retreating. The win from this position is to play knight e7 check. Mm-hmm. Okay, so black can't capture because white will just capture black's knight. But then you have to be able to see this one very creeping move.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's pretty, yeah. And
strong.
Defends and attacks.
And the square that it attacks most notably is the g3 square. Because if black plays king takes e7, you do this, and then simply capture with the queen on g3. And a solid 2-pawn position up that you can win. So instead, however, Neiman had a different idea in mind. So
Well, if we can trust the clocks, he had half a minute, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if we trust the clocks, he was in time pressure, and that would explain it. So in time pressure, he overlooked maybe that Black could simply retreat the knight. And there's one more nice move that Chittambaram played. It wasn't necessary.
Okay, sure,
Queen
why
F8
not?
wins too. But and now Black is clearly winning and won in just a few moves. So I have 2 more games possibly to show, but actually I just remembered there is another game from the first round that I want to show. So sorry, let me get a drink of water quickly and come back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, very interesting games. I'm watching this tournament from time to time, and very strong, entertaining, well thought out tournament.
Yeah, double-edged, full-bodied, very entertaining for the fans.
Yeah.
Nerve-wracking for the players.
So, just another proof that classical chess round robin is still alive.
Yeah,
still very
and-
much
and
alive.
delighted to see games like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this game has a very nice point. I'll go through the opening moves fairly quickly. Navarra is white against Maksudlu. And they play an enterprising variation of the Sicilian defense. And the point I'm going to make is that part of the theme of the talk I gave in Germany is I was contrasting Emanuel Lasker's idea of the Makida, which is human perfection, not, however, computer joined, versus cyborgs, and how maybe we're becoming cyborgs in chess through training with computer. There's even a paper I was shown yesterday saying that AI chatbots are influencing how we speak to each other. So
They're certainly influencing publications now too. So
okay.
I'm seeing a lot of publications that are definitely constructed with AI.
Yeah. Okay. That's that's interesting. The moral of this game may be that the winning stratagem comes about by creating a position in which the computer's equalizing move is one that no human would make. Okay. So let's give it a double exclam. It's really very simple. White is threatening knight h6 check, winning Black's queen. So Black didn't take the knight. But Black is worse here, but Maksudlu actually defends very well and gets the queens off, and then neutralizes a fair bit of White's initiative with help from the fact that actually Navarra should have played like Gukesh in the previous game and retreated
Oh, goodness.
b1 to reroute it to c3. So, okay. Now, here, however, though, is the key point in the game. I'm leaving the computer on purpose. So it turns out that the only equalizing move is to entomb Black's bishop.
Wow.
Yeah. But what it
Does it become a fortress then, or?
It maybe becomes a fortress. Maybe Black gets counterplay on the queen side. I haven't looked into it deeply. But the amusing thing to say about this juncture is that the reason the g5 move is necessary is to prevent Black's rook on f8 from getting trapped.
Oh, I never would have worried about that rook getting trapped.
Well, here we go. So Black played b5, going for his counterplay, and now White plays g5, a definite sealer move. We're going to trade the g pawn for the h pawn. So White wins the h pawn, but Black, of course, can get it back by winning White's g pawn. Well, maybe not. Black recaptured White's g pawn, but
Now
g4. And Black's rook is trapped.
There
by
it
the
is.
flypaper. The ultimate reason White wins is actually the fact that that the only way that white can also break through on the in the center with the strong pawn on d5. So I'll give the game continuation, but ultimately black can't defend because white can play f4, play king f4. Black has to play rook e5, but after the trade in king e5, white is winning in the center and the resulting rook endgames. So anyways, that was a nice motif from round one. I want to show one other game, though, from the other tournament that's going on, and this is a game that was played yesterday evening in St. Louis, the St. Louis Masters, playing Allegro 2 rounds a day at the fastest allowed norm-giving time control, 90 plus 30, so no increment at turn, no lump sum at turn 40, but a 30-second increment. And more enterprising play against the Sicilian defense with an early trade of white's bishop. Maybe again, Dan, you probably know a lot about these positions.
So these positions, so I play the black side of this, and I've also played the white side of this. In fact, the last game that that I legitimately won against an engine using player of the black pieces was on the white side of this particular line. I didn't trade the bishop for the knight, but we basically reached a position where the engine of that time, Stockfish 14, couldn't calculate in 44 ply that it was losing a position. So this is a really good line for getting long-term strategic planning in correspondence chess, but over the board, usually one side makes a mistake and it turns out being a rollover. So.
See, if I were white, I would think my long-time strategic planning would be slow build-up, blockade c4 as Nimzovich would do, prevent black from playing d5.
Right.
But the Hardaway plays a move that I would think is just wrong. It's not among Stockfish's top 3 moves. Plays e5. So
this position was in the match Gelfand Anand. I think Gelfand was playing the black side and Anand white in more than in one game. I don't remember exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's
this is kind of like put a bone in the opponent's throat and see if he can get it out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's Caruana.
There you go.
Caruana is able to get it out. Caruana just. So the interesting thing is Caruana starts playing like Alpha Zero. No worry about the
racist
possible discovery. Starts restricting white's pieces. Is not worried about the looseness on the king side. And gets actually very
white's in trouble here.
Yeah,
even though the computer says it's equal.
Yeah, well, it is true that black is in trouble unless he plays king f7. So it's again a very dynamic position. So you have to. I guess what does black do? A normal move, like how does a normal move like bishop? Knight's hanging. Never mind. King f7. So, now actually, though, black is doing fine, and the rest is just a very nice, steady outplaying of white. White has already been wrong-footed. And so it's interesting that black does not grab a pawn. Let's just see exactly how. Grab a pawn is going to be, how is that going to be punished? Let's see. White just comes through on the queen side. That's interesting. I was thinking it was something involving knight f5. So black gets to the king side first, and now black is just going to be able to penetrate. This is a very nice move, although it's a very temporary sacrifice. White comes back with move, hoping, I guess, to try to get salvation in a position where he has one pawn for the exchange and black's pawns are very scattered. But black is able to liquidate into a position where where the scatteredness of black's pawns doesn't matter, and still keeping the initiative. And around here, Hardaway gives up. So a very nice game by Caruana.
Yeah, very logical, very clean game. Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, and it
Yep.
will be more interesting next week to see the conclusion of this Prague tournament.
And Neiman is in trouble again right now as we speak in round 3. So see if he is able to get out of this position where he sacrificed pawns for counterplay, but white neutralized the counterplay. So, okay.
And they didn't neutralize the pawns. See, the
Right.
counterplay is something what you have, and in 10 minutes later, you may not have it anymore. But pawns are quite substantial part of the game, especially in game. So, well, anyway, have a good weekend, and
Thank
see
you very much. Yep.
same place, same time.
Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Dan. Yep. Bye-bye.